Right. I think we got everyone here. There should be microphones there. So yeah, this is the ETHProofs panel. Please, round of applause for our panelists today.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hello.
Some energy from out there?
Yeah. Woo! Everyone.
Oh. Good. All right, good. Proof of life. Very good. Uma's just, I think she's got her lanyard, so she'll be just joining us in a few minutes, so we'll just let her gracefully run in. We're going to spend most of the day talking about ETH proofs, but probably a lot of it talking about future zkVMs and where that's going to head. Before we jump into all of this, do you guys want to just do a really quick intro on who you all are and why you're sitting on the stage?
Cool. Hello, I'm Stefan Dua from the ZKM. I'm the dev leader of ZKM. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jenna Ouyang from Snarkify. We do GPU real-time proving for Ethereum ecosystems. And you can find my teammates wearing this cool jersey around.
Cool. Hey guys, my name is Elias. I'm one of the co-founders of Kakarot. We are building prover infra for blockchains.
Perfect. I want to start by just setting the stage. What are ETH proofs? Why should anyone care? Who wants to take that one?
I can take it if you want.
Perfect, yeah.
So it's initiative by the Ethereum Foundation that aims to prepare the roadmap to prove Ethereum L1. So turn Ethereum L1 into a ZK chain. And the principle is very simple. Once every 100 blocks of Ethereum L1, any prover actor can choose to prove that block and share their benchmark, how long it took end-to-end to prove that block. And so this creates more kind of a shelling point to accelerate, I would say, the roadmap of ZK snarkifying Ethereum L1.
Can I add one point? So it actually solves a very important issue in the ZKM performance benchmarking problem in this community, because before ETHProofs.org, every ZKM company is kind of publish their performance on Twitter as a marketing activity. It's very hard for any third party to verify what's the actual performance, actual cost. So with ETHProofs.org, participants are actually generating proofs lively for every 100 blocks right now. Actually, people can easily see what's like in production performance right now without looking at any tweets or etc. So it's actually a battlefield for every zkVM team.
It's a good equalizer.
One more point, yeah. So as we say about the watch machine, actually it's not only RISC-V. We also, have the zkVMs. We also have other different IC. Okay, yeah.
It's like a playing field for research. Any type of prover can come in and propose a new paradigm on how to prove efficiently.
So my mental model is it is from what I've seen just in the UI, and I think of it like it's the block explorer for proofs. For proof workloads on Ethereum. When you're asking someone to go and take a look at this, do you think that's the best place to start? Look at what the block explorer does and inspect the data. And I understand that what you can do is actually just verify that that's what the actual performance is as opposed to what they're suggesting. Would that be the first step for everyone to just learn a little bit more?
Yeah, I think so. I think as Justin Drake put it, it's like L2 bits for all zkVMs. So I think that's a long-term vision. Eventually, they will probably add more information about proof generation, proof verification. The idea is that if you check out the website, you can learn everything about zkVM proving for Ethereum blocks. That's like an educational website or informative website.
Yeah, and I've seen the names attached to them, exactly. And is the end goal to just prove every single block on Ethereum? I think that's what most people would expect.
Yes.
So direct alignment on there. Do you think anyone challenges that?
What kind of challenge?
That it shouldn't be every single block, that it's too expensive, it's too hard?
Oh, no. It's not expensive than people have thought. It will be apparent for everyone soon. I think the roadmap is 1 out of every 100 block this quarter, and 1 out of every 10th block next quarter. Then for the next quarter is every block. It will be soon.
I think people go even further. It's prove any block of any chain anywhere, forever. And
Yeah, it's actually on my back of this jersey. Prove every block. It's literally written here.
So we're not there yet.
nope.
What's the constraint?
So making Ethereum a zkL1 requires one thing, and you said it. It's real-time proving. It's slightly different from L2s. So you, who here knows zk rollups or zkL2s? Okay, so they produce blocks and then they settle a proof once in a while on Ethereum. And right now they settle it every 8 hours, maybe sometimes 2 hours, 1 hour. So their order of magnitude for generating a proof is in the minutes or the hours. So they don't need to produce a proof very fast. If you want to make Ethereum L1 a zk chain, you need to generate a proof of a block before the next block, or maybe before the next second block. But usually you should think of generating a proof in 12 seconds. So the next challenge is how do we do it? Because if you go on ETHProof today, the timings are 2 minutes, 1 minute. So everyone is rushing to get that extra 40x on speed end to end. And I think that's the funniest frontier, because it touches on GPU work, software, acceleration, new zkVMs, new methods. It's a new playing field. It's really cool.
I believe the real-time proving is so coming. But from the data we have right now on ETHProof, we can see that it's still maybe some minutes to finish the block. The bottleneck, I think, the first bottleneck is the start to snap. You can see that even for very simple, very simple block, we still need about 40 seconds to convert the start to prove the stack will fail. Okay, so that's because for the stack, for the for the batch proof, maybe we can split this execution trace into many segments, and then we can prove all those segments in very short time, like seconds, like maybe in 5 seconds or in 10 seconds. But back to the stack to snack. Okay, we need to prove the stack will fail. We need to make sure that the query points and the query proof as less as we can. Okay, and then we may need to accelerate the proving on large fields. Okay, so here, this is the bottleneck, I think so, but we still have a lot of maybe solutions to solve that, protocol or the algorithm improvements, like we may or WHIR, some solutions to shorten the proof to make sure that we have less query and we can keep the same security.
Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. So the question is, we want to prove every block and why we are not there yet. So first of all, prove every block is a different problem from prove every block in real time. So the later problem is harder because we need to care both latency and the cost. But the first problem, prove every block, is actually a pure cost problem. As of today, we have multiple zk rollups from zk-sync ecosystem, Scroll, Stackware, many others. The problem of them not getting adopted, like converting all the OP rollups to zk rollups, is primarily cost. However, that's a solved problem as our understanding, per our understanding. Because as of today, zk is still too expensive to operate given the products on the market. That's why it's not adopted widely yet. However, we will be there pretty much in a few months. People will realize that zk is very affordable to generate all the proofs. The harder question is actually the latency. When will we reach real time, like proof under 12 seconds or sub-slot proving? That will rely on GPU acceleration that we are working on. I believe we have the most aggressive roadmap, which is to hit real-time proving in June this year. That's more aggressive than any other team that I know. But soon we will be hitting real-time proving.
I want to keep that on you, Oyen, because I know that you are a firm believer in accelerating hardware and using hardware as much as getting to the absolute limits of what's possible on hardware. Talk to me about the the bottlenecks that come from hardware, all the way from just like the access to chips, the speed of chips, all the way through writing custom acceleration to make all the pieces of the cryptography go faster. What do you think is the most impactful set of changes that you see coming in hardware? And when do you think that those are going to start to land?
That's a very good and deep question. Like, it's hard for me to get a short answer. Like, think in this way. We need, like, at least our belief is that we need some kind of a company like DeepSeek to really optimize the system software so that we can push the performance to real time. So other people might thought we will rely on ASICs, but we believe, like, looking at the AI industry, what's winning here is not actually some AI chip company. The majority are still on NVIDIA GPUs. And people are counting on software level optimization, like zkVM, like training infra level optimization, as well as GPU kernels and parallel file system, this kind of full stack system level optimization to push the performance forward. I think we should take the right approach here too. That's why we are building on GPU platform and deeply optimizing the software stack on top of it. Did I address all of your questions?
I think so. And actually, like, Stefan, I want to throw it to you. Like in obviously, like, we're pretty familiar with ZKM. How much do you think about hardware, or how much do you just think about software optimizations?
Firstly, for the ZKM tree, it's already run on the GPU right now.
Yep.
Next milestone, maybe next month or after next month, we will announce our ZKM paths. Okay. For this version, it's we switch to system from the Planck 2 to Planck 3. Okay, you can see that we have about 6 to 11 times faster. I mean, speed up. Okay, so it's about the proof system itself. And another point is we still need to, use next GPU or some other hardware acceleration. I think after all those optimizations, we can achieve that proving a block like in maybe one of one. Yeah, like 1 of 1 instead of 1 of 100. Yeah, it's real time proving. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. And Elias, I want to come to you. Walk me through like the entire suite that like Kakarot offers, and how and what you think the biggest challenges are that you want to solve immediately versus solve later.
So if you decompose for a second the proving pipeline, there are maybe 4 to 5 steps depending on who you are, maybe 3 sometimes. So you take an Ethereum block that just been produced and you pre-process it to feed it to your prover, or like your virtual machine that is provable. You have to run the actual block in a provable environment. You can even see it as a TE, but it's a zkVM. So it's a computer that when it computes over data, it can generate a trace that is provable. So this is called trace generation. And this might even become a bottleneck at some point. So this is the second step. The third step is proof generation. So you take your trace, which is you have to think about it almost as a big Excel table. Okay, every row is one step of the machine, and every column is the constraints you have. So you have this huge Excel table. You feed it to your prover, which is the technology. Stefan, you mentioned Plonky 3 is one of them. Stu is another. So you feed it to that prover, and that also takes some time. So that's also a bottleneck. So for us, we're right now optimizing mostly on software. So that's trace generation and proof generation. And we're also already seeing real-time capabilities purely on the software side. And what's nice is that our differentiating factor is we're working with Kakarot VM and the Stu prover from Starkware. And so the GPU acceleration is taking place from the Starkware side, or like Ingo and Yama side. So when you see the space, you see lots of people kind of arguing together, like against one another, but you have to realize that most teams are cross-pollinating. So Polygon developed Plonky 3. Plonky 3 was reused by the people here, and Succinct. And then there are optimizations made by those teams on Plonky 3 to run it faster on GPU. So what we're seeing is almost exponential speed gains from cross-pollination. So when a team like you guys, for example, do hardware acceleration, other teams like ReZero are going to be able to use it.
One more point.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, you also mentioned the execution time, and after execution time, we may have the splits in parallel proving and the proof recursion or something like that. Yeah, of course, for the proof for all those steps, I mean steps of phase, we can do it in a pipeline. Yeah, to make sure that for this block we can generate the trace, and then we can prove it. But for the next, if the next block comes out, we can begin to we can still put it in the pipeline to execute proving.
This is almost like ZKOps. Like you have to organize this kind of I don't know how to say in English, the bridge on which there's water and it goes over like a pipeline. I don't know. Yeah, so you have to imagine that there's a block which is big, and you have to kind of cut it into a smaller thing, and then you have to refine it into this final proof, which is extremely small. So all this work of almost masonry, it requires extremely good DevOps, good hardware acceleration, and almost elegant design so that everything is very lean.
And then the execution also can be decentralized. Yeah, we run on different server.
Many businesses can form on top of it, whether it is prover networks, whether it is acceleration teams, selling chips, or even just DevOps work. So that's a new vertical. And when you said it's expensive, actually, when you have to think about it, is we're paying a lot of money in inflation or emission of ether to pay stakers that secure the network. When you switch to a ZK system, what you're actually going to do is reduce a lot the inflation of ETH, because ZK is going to secure the chain. And the inflation that you're going to reduce is cost save on all ETH users forever. And this cost is going to be like in the billions. So I think when you have to think about it, ZK is going to bring more money to ETH users, and then they're going to maybe create so much value that they're going to be able to capture back parts of it. So maybe you go from 5% emission, like an APR for a staker, to 1%, and then some of it will be to the prover.
Yeah, back to your point of cross-company collaboration, I think that's a great point, because for us, we are working on GPU acceleration for Plunkett 3, right now targeting SP1 workload, but apparently ZKM can benefit from it as well. So it's like building the infrastructure so that the whole ecosystem can benefit from it.
I wanted to hit on collaboration pretty hard, because it seems like ETHProofs and the way that it's been built together through the Ethereum Foundation, through collaboration with partners who are on the stage, collaboration seems important. And I think sometimes, especially in the VM space, when it's such a race to who can do it the fastest, who can do it the cheapest, there tends to be sort of competitive forces that play out, and we've seen some of that on crypto Twitter, obviously. How collaborating can be pretty idealistic. So what do you think is the best mechanism literally to collaborate, other than show up at a conference every once in a while and realize that there's these serendipitous things in which we can cross-pollinate on?
Maybe it's the opposite. Is like people collaborate 350 days a year, and then when they come to conferences, they sometimes shill collaboration, but most of the time they say, I have the better product. But if you look at the code, there's like 95% similarities. But you are selling go-to-market on the 5%, the little sprinkle of salt that you have. That is your own. Most of it is open source. Did I turn off? Most of it is open source, but when you look, maybe Succinct, I don't know if it changed, but most of it is open source, and then they have a small bit, which is a GPU acceleration, which is closed source. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. So what we will say is we collaborate on everything, and then to have this kind of non-capturable market, we have this edge that is good. And maybe Succinct has good distribution, good marketing. You guys have good GPU engineers. You have maybe distribution in other markets. So
that's too much information.
Sorry.
I'm just joking. I think for us, our position is a little bit interesting, because we are quite a GPU software focused team. For us, we are actually zkVM agnostic. So right now, if you check the ETHProofs doc, we are actually running succinct software. Their open source zkVM, as well as their closed sourced GPU prover. Actually, their GPU prover are quite good. According to our knowledge, no one else has the same kind of Plunkett 3 GPU prover that's as fast as Succinct at this moment. Of course, our target is going to crash that in 4 months to reach real-time proving.
Same.
Great. So basically, we want to be in a position where we have every zkVM to reach the extreme performance on GPU devices, and we'd like to be in a collaborative play with everyone in the ecosystem.
There's collaboration until you realize that there's room for maybe four provers, because either you're Ethereum L1, and what you need is redundancy. You need like security, so you need approximately 3 to 4 provers proving every single block. Just like today, there are 4 to 5 clients running Ethereum L1 software in production, like Reth, Geth, Bezu, Nethermind. I'm maybe forgetting. Doesn't matter. Aragon. And then the other market is selling to ZK rollups. So OP6int, Kailua, maybe there's going to be others. And so what you're selling is to a rollup provider like Conduit, Caldera, the ability to convert any chain to ZK, or like selling to bridges zkProofs. So there's collaboration until you realize that the market is growing, but you need to go to market. And then people need to pay you to generate proofs. And chances are the people who are willing to pay, they're not going to be willing to pay more than 3 times the same, for the same thing, which is a proof. So I don't know if that was so clear.
I understand what you're saying, which is, and even when you look at like the blocks on like the ETHProofs Explorer, like there tends to be a couple, maybe 3 of the projects that have gone through and actually done it. So do you it does seem like there is maybe a magic number where you do need some redundancy and people to do that in the long term as well. One of my questions around this is, this brings us back to like how much of your focus is on Ethereum versus on some of the L2s, and maybe in context of your business, like how much do you think about just Ethereum, just scaling Ethereum, bringing ZK to Ethereum versus bringing ZK to every other potential rollup?
Oh, yeah. First, I also need to measure our position first. As you want to crash some GPU acceleration solution. To be honest, we want to crash the risk fat.
Okay.
Okay. So from our we mean that's risk factors. It's moderate. Okay, but MIPS is more simple, more consistent. I say first, and then back to So that means different platform can use or same ISA. Okay. So maybe back your question about the maybe you guys can continue the question.
I take it first.
I think our go-to-market is Ethereum L1 for proving the tech, the real-time, and then any EVM equivalent chain, and then any blockchain infrastructure, and then Web2 businesses that will need verification.
You got a great strategy here. Like we think the same. I like your strategy.
So just in the last like few minutes, or we'll have one minute left here. I want everyone to just underline it. If you want this audience to take one thing away, you've got 10 seconds, and we'll close it out.
MIPS currently we are trying to build its vertical strategy. We are supporting the God network. God network is a Bitcoin L2. We are going to supporting the Metis to build its hybrid rollup. Also, we are going to build the privacy preserving and more fair AI agents.
Perfect.
So from us, Snarkify will dominate real-time proving in the next 12 months. That's my claim. Just keep an eye on us. I'll show you.
I think we have to go into the mentality that soon everything in the digital space will be signed, and that you have to think that every almost internet payload, like HTTP payload, will come with a ZK proof. So the market is enormous, and we're very early, and that's cool for Kakarot.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.